Hey, this is Nilsson, mad scientist of muscle, and I've got something absolutely evil for you here today. This is a Janda sit-up done with a band coupled with an abdominal sit-up. Now, if you're not familiar with a Janda sit-up, this is a very simple exercise where it's just a sit-up done with either somebody holding your heels behind you to engage the hamstrings, or basically you're bracing your heels against something so that as you're doing the sit-up, to take the hip flexors out of it, you're basically engaging the hamstrings to engage the antagonist to the hip flexors, which forces them to relax. It's a great sit-up just on its own. What we're going to do here is additionally pair it with a rolled up towel. This is going to sit in your lower back so that you get spinal flexion at the start of the exercise, spinal extension coming up through spinal flexion rather than hip flexion. When you're doing just a regular sit-up, even a Janda one, it's primarily a hip flexion exercise. This exercise, when you roll up the towel and stick it in your lower back, changes it to a spinal flexion exercise which targets rectus abdominis very, very strongly, very accurately. What we're going to do to add this in to make it twice as evil is add in a band. So you could technically call it a Band Janda if you wanted to, but it might get you punched in the face, so probably wouldn't recommend it. Take a band, just a thin one here. You're going to do this either in the power rack or some other setup where you can attach the band to something solid about 2.5 feet off the ground. What you're going to do here, set your rolled up towel a couple of feet in front of that. Now, if you don't have a rack, but you do have a partner, you can have them hold your heels behind you so that you can engage your hamstrings as you're doing this. I don't have a partner, so I'm using just the rack here. I'm going to use the bar, the cross beam of the rack, to hook my heels in to engage the hamstrings and do the sit-up. Now, the purpose of the band, not so much at the bottom. As you come to the top, you get the band resistance, and this band is going to be hooked over your shoulders and around your chest. So as you come up, you're getting monster contraction through your rectus abdominis. This torches your six-pack abs. Literally, one of these is worth 1,000 crunches. I'll tell you that right now. I may or may not be exaggerating with that. I've already done a few sets of this, and my abs are still on fire from like 5 minutes ago. So, get your rolled up towel set, get your band up and overhead. Now, once it's engaged just around your upper chest like so, you're ready to go. Get your heels braced. Put your knees out, kind of like a frog. What this does is it also takes the hip flexors out of a direct line of pull. If your legs are straight like that, hip flexors have a direct line of pull. When they're out to the sides like this, not as much, so it doesn't fully take them out, but it minimizes their effect. So, get those heels locked in. Now, roll your back over the rolled up towel. As you can see, I've got some spinal extension and arch in the lower back. As I come up, I'm going to get some spinal flexion, and as I further come up, I'm going to get direct band resistance. And I'm going to slide up just a little bit even more. As you can see, at the time you're done with your set, you're probably going to feel like you're going to pee your pants. In a good way. Push this basically until your abs can't take it anymore, and then you're done. When you get to the top, squeeze as hard as you can. Now this is going to be direct resistance, taking a lot of the hip flexors out of the engagement here. It's a very strong contraction, through the rectus abdominis. If you think about it, this position is about as contracted as the rectus abdominis can actually get. So doing this under direct gravity and after having just done the sit-up and having the band resistance coming directly from the back, monster exercise for your six-pack abs. So give this one a shot if you've got the band. You can use the rack, you can find alternative setups pretty easily enough, but this one's absolutely worth experimenting with. Give it a shot and let me know how you like it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Now if you want to get more training videos just like this one, be sure to click on either of those two videos over on the left.